There's another related aspect to this that was a legislative issue, and that is a state minimum wage law. That was an administration bill, as was the Human Resources bill. And of course, as we know, it failed. Do you or does your administration have any thinking about future plans for state minimum wage?
Well, I certainly haven't given up, though. I feel that, of course, the national minimum wage law has expanded into many areas in Arkansas and is creating some of the problems that we may want to talk about later. But we still have areas within the structure of Arkansas where there is no protection. And when you and I have talked, I think, before on this subject, I pointed out that I had opposed a minimum wage law, 5 or 6 years ago.
1960.
And at that time, I didn't feel that our economy was strong enough to protect the small home industries, if you will, with a minimum wage law loaded on top of it. Since then, I have felt that our economy has grown to the point where we are hurting ourselves by not having a minimum wage law to protect that ever smaller group of people who are not covered by the federal laws. So I would like to revive this. I think working together we can do a good selling job and hopefully get it through.
Well, I think, very frankly, for the first time in many years, it looks like there is a possibility of getting an act in this field. You mentioned the federal minimum wage law that triggered in the month of February and covered agricultural workers at $1 an hour. There's no overtime, and this has been a problem in eastern Arkansas. I know you have made some statements on it and some studies. You may want to comment on that.
Well, I've been very much concerned about this because two factors have come in. One is the interpretation of the child labor laws, as well as the minimum wage. And so many of the farm families that have worked on the larger farms or plantations of the Delta region worked as a family unit. And the minute that we have the minimum wage, plus this redefinition of child labor and what was dangerous work and so on and so forth, agriculture moved to further mechanization. And it's been estimated that we'll have over 1,000 families, maybe more than that, that will be moved off the farms and replaced by mechanization. And then if you begin to analyze, which we are doing at the present moment, the federal agencies working with us are trying to make a family-by-family evaluation of the capacities of these people. But unfortunately, you find that there are the older people, the parents, and then kids from 19 and under. But there is none of this spread between 19 and, well, call it 45 or whatever you will. Therefore, we've got two problems. One is going to be strictly a welfare problem. Two is going to be a retraining problem. And three is going to be a relocation problem. And over and above that, as the Farmers Union has proposed, a work program that might absorb this untrained labor while they're being trained.
Hasn't this problem been one, a continuing one, although it's highlighted by the minimum wage law, that I understand some 15,000 jobs a year in Arkansas have been lost in the last 10 years. This just highlights it. Of course, we know the Arkansas Farmers Union project. I wonder if you can't, you wonder about the misery that these people are going through. I know that a number of them are on welfare anyhow, that maybe after all, the passage of the minimum wage law may highlight this problem and may get us to solving that problem and possibly break the cycle of poverty that these families have been in for generations and generations.
Yes, I think you've got a very real point, because I have resented a good many federal programs that have been welfare programs that have locked people into poverty. And I made the statement last night at the Brotherhood banquet that I thought we ought to examine the causes and not so much the symptoms. The symptoms have been with us and are going to be with us. But let's study what are the basic causes of some of these problems. So you're 100% correct, I feel, when you say this is spotlighting a situation that's been with us for a long time. Now let's put the good manpower and thought behind correcting the cause.